Hello everyone, this is Logan, and today I'm going to be doing the second episode of Jailbreak Fridays, and with me to help is BMX Brandon 2.
Hi.
Hi. So, the first tweak I'm going to be showing you two tweaks, he'll be showing you one tweak because it was the different way in the first episode. The first tweak I'm going to be showing you is Convergence. Now, this is a bit like your lock screen on steroids. In fact, let me show you what the lock screen typically looks like. I'll show it to you with my iPhone. So, here is the lock screen. And typically, the lock screen isn't anything too amazing. You just slide to unlock. And, obviously you can do the notification center, you can do control center, you can swipe up to use the camera, but there's really not much of a point in actually using the lock screen. Not until Convergence comes along to save the day. So, what Convergence does, it basically adds extra functionality to your lock screen. First of all, there's a different method of swiping to unlock. You swipe up now to unlock. Typically on an iPhone, you would swipe from side to side as I reconnect to AirPlay, like so. You'll see how that works. You slide to unlock here. Swipe up to unlock here. Now, you can also swipe left because, as you probably know, if you try and swipe up on the iPhone, you just get Control Center. Since there's no Control Center, obviously, we have these quick toggles. Now, you can do various different things. You can turn location services on and off. You can do Bluetooth on and off, Do Not Disturb on and off, rotation lock on and off. There's even a quick toggle to go into settings, and even something that will control your brightness if you want. Now, if we swipe over to the right, we have the camera app, which is really nice. You can see my MacBook Pro that I'm recording with. And if we swipe from the bottom, or swipe from the top, where the notification center typically would be, you'll notice that we have widgets. We have calendar widgets, we have RSS feeds, or we have weather, which doesn't seem to work, and we have something else which doesn't really seem to work. But to be honest, I don't think anyone's really going to be using the widgets anyway. So that is Convergence. It's available for free in the Insanely High repo, and as far as I can tell, it's only available in the Insanely High repo. Actually, I'm not going to shut up about Convergence right now. I'm just going to show you a few quick settings. So, if we go into Convergence, we have different backgrounds. You can adjust the blur of the background. You can use HTML wallpapers, which I guess is kind of neat. And there are two different themes. You have default and you have thin. Thin is basically the same thing, but it kind of more closely replicates iOS 7's styling with the way it works. So that's how that works. I'm just going to set it to default because that looks a bit better in my opinion. You can also enable or disable it. So if you just want the standard slide to unlock screen, you can have that. And if you just want Control Center and whatever, you can have that. We also have different toggles you can do in Convergence. Various different things. It's a very good app or tweak, and I highly, highly recommend it. So next app is called ClassicSwicher. Now, I'm going to make another note with the iPhone right here. So, this is what the app switcher typically looks like in iOS 7. You'll see how it's sort of a card view, and if I open up a few apps, let's open up settings, iTunes, clock, photos, why not? You'll see, if we go into the app switcher, it goes into this nice card view, and you can swipe up to get rid of the individual apps. I personally quite like how this is, but for those who are feeling nostalgic, you can get the old app switcher very easily. Now, Brandon here, first of all, Brandon, show us what the app switcher looks like in iOS 6.
Okay, so this is the stock apps screen that you get in,
App switcher.
App switcher. Thank you, Logan. That you get in iOS 6. You see, it's basically, you know how it works. This is how you get rid of them.
You just hold to do that. And,
So, yeah.
and if you swipe to the right, you get, or you swipe to the left, you get different toggles. Show those, Brandon.
I see. Yes, you get your
music
AirPlay.
toggles, you get your volume, and you get your AirPlay. So how this works is very much the same. We have different apps, and if I want to add more apps, like maybe the YouTube app, camera, YouTube capture. So as you can see, all those apps are in the app switcher. Now, you can quit it just like iOS 6. You just hold it down, wait for the little X to appear, and you X out of the apps one by one. But there's a feature in here that you weren't allowed to do back in iOS 6. A feature that is very nice, a feature you can't even do in iOS 7, for that matter. And that is a kill all button. You just double tap to invoke the app switcher, and you swipe left where there would normally be music and AirPlay toggles, and instead, it just kills your apps. Now, you might be thinking, well, I liked the music toggles. Well, you can just get them in Control Center. So, that is ClassicSwicher. It's available for 99 cents, and is also available for free in the Insanely I repo. There will be a title thing coming up in a moment showing you what the repo is called. So those are my two apps. Actually, another thing, I may as well quick show you some of the settings for ClassicSwicher. You can have rows, you can have up to 3 rows, which I think is a bit of an overkill, which is why I just have it set to 1, but there you go. You can have it quit all apps. You can have that set to not actually be a thing if you want. You can have always editing mode, which if you quit out of an app, you'll see it's always in editing mode. So that's always nice. So if you just want to not have to wait for the X to appear, you can just do it that way. Ask before quitting all, you can have that set on and off. I think that's on by default, but I just have it off because I know what I'm doing. You can do overlay style, like you can do a black overlay, so when you invoke the app switcher it fades a bit. You can have a white overlay, so it turns white a bit. And there's a blur overlay, so when you invoke the app switcher it blurs a bit. I just have no overlay because I like to be at least a bit classic. And opening animation, you can do slide up bar only, which is what I have it set to. You can have it uncover iOS 6 style, so a bit like that. And you can slide up, which is pretty much the same, really. I just have it set to that because it looks a bit better. So that is ClassicSwicher. So, over to you, Brandon.
Thank you, Logan. Now I will be demonstrating Barrel. Barrel is a animation for your home screen that makes your apps do all kinds of crazy animations. I have mine set for random, so when I move around the screen you can see my apps just go all over the place. So yeah, that is a really nice thing. If we go into the Barrel app, which will happen when you download it, I can customize this any way I want. I had mine set for random. You can have it normal if you would like. Cube, we'll try Cube, see what that does. So we'll see. See, Cute just gives it a really nice little animation where it's all in just a simple cube. I would highly recommend downloading this tweak. If you like all these cool animations, I'll be demonstrating a few. Page fade, we'll see what that is. So when I hit between each screen, my pages will fade.
Now, I would imagine that would actually work pretty well with the reduced motion thing in iOS 7.
It probably would. Here's page zoom, which you can zoom in and out when you're going to your second screen. So that is really, really cool. I'll just have it set for random so you guys can see some of the random themes or animations you can do. This tweak does cost the princely sum of $2.99 in the Cydia store. If you have the Insanely iRepo, which Logan will have down in the description or across the video, you can get it for absolutely free. I would highly recommend getting this tweak if you like these crazy animations, because I really love this one. This is one of my favorites, this theme. But yeah, it costs $2.99 in the Cydia store. I'd highly recommend it. So that's really all I have to say about Barrel. Thank you guys for watching.
Bye. Now, if you swipe right, you'll gain access to the camera app. And if you swipe down where the notification center would be, the device will respring.